So I came across this really interesting chart that breaks down what's going on with Bitcoin and the US dollar. So if you look at the top chart, it's showing that Bitcoin seems as if it is increasing price wise, but the dollar is essentially staying stagnant horizontally. And if you look at the bottom chart, you can see that Bitcoin has remained stable, but the dollar is going down. Now, it's important to understand this, and I think that this graphic was very insightful for me because it kind of opens your eyes to what may be going on with the US dollar and how it relates to Bitcoin. Because the Federal Reserve and the government prints a lot of money, essentially to keep interest rates low, and essentially that's what's going on right now. They print more money. They print more money all the time for different things, different government purchases, things that they're doing, whether it's paying for programs, whether it's war, whether it's essentially trying to stimulate the economy. They try to keep interest rates low by printing money. Essentially, what ends up happening is when more money is printed, fiat currency, US dollar, it essentially is debasing the dollar. It's making the value of the dollar less because there's more dollars in circulation. So if there's more dollars in circulation, it's essentially making that currency less valuable. So what happens when the dollar is essentially debased? Well, what happens is the price of everything around us goes up. We're seeing this right now with real estate. The prices of real estate are super high no matter where you live, right? I live in the Northeast. The prices here are absolutely insane. The stock market also rips up. When interest rates are lower and more dollars are circulated within the economy, it's essentially going to increase the valuations of stocks within the public equity market. However, when you look at something like Bitcoin, which serves as a digital gold, a commodity of some sorts, it's essentially remaining stable because there's a finite supply of Bitcoin that can ever be mined. As a result, because Bitcoin can't be manipulated and essentially controlled by one centralized government, it is essentially remaining stable in terms of how much supply is brought in the market. So when you really think about it, and if you understand or have some sort of understanding of the idea of the Federal Reserve printing money and increasing the money supply, you can see why something like Bitcoin will remain stable versus something like the United States currency, the dollar, which is decreasing in value as it compares and relates to Bitcoin. This is not just the case with the dollar. This example is just very glaring because the United States dollar is one of the most circulated currencies within the global economy. So essentially, when companies are transacting, governments are transacting, they're usually doing that within USD. But if you were to look at Bitcoin as it relates to most currencies across the globe, you would see a similar picture, right? Because all Federal Reserves, all governments are debasing their currency. They're printing more and putting in circulation. So I hope this makes a little bit more sense as it pertains to what may be going on within the monetary supply, the global economy, and particularly Bitcoin. It's going to be very interesting to see where the asset class goes in the future, especially with pro-crypto administration like the Trump administration. They've made it clear that they're definitely going to prioritize crypto and Bitcoin. But comment your thoughts below. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about this chart. I thought it was very insightful, very eye-opening. And yeah, let me know what you think.